Hello, everybody, and welcome to something a little bit different. So, I have been trying to think of something to do on Fridays for a while, and I thought, hey, why don't I do little bonus videos for Hollow Knight where I read through some of the lore? Because I've been kind of neglecting the journal. So, I guess that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start reading this. From the very beginning, I suppose. Crawlid, a timid scavenger that crawls through the caverns looking for food, dull and pathetic, hardly worth killing. Rude. Vengefly, a flying predator that pursues its prey relentlessly. I don't know if there's anything actually important in here, but I mean bosses are in here, so probably. This fierce little hunter will bravely chase down creatures many times its size. Admirable. It is weak, though, and I have devoured hundreds of them with little effort or care. The Vengefly King, patriarch of the Vengefly colony, swoops at intruders and cries out for reinforcements if threatened. A filthy creature that is happy to chew on any old thing it finds discarded on the cavern floor. When it notices a threat, it will annoyingly scream and shriek, so kill it swiftly. Gruzzer. It's just a little guy. Simple-minded creature that haphazardly buzzes around, bumping into things. They only seem dimly aware of their surroundings, making them easy prey to cut your fangs on. What is it that guides them on their paths? It almost seems like they search for ways to die. The Gruz Mother, mature gruzzer that carries its young in its belly, attacks by hurling its huge body around. Bizarrely, this monster does not lay eggs, but instead carries its young inside of its fat stomach. This strange practice seems to exhaust the creature, making it sleepy and vulnerable. Take advantage. Tick-tick. It's a little guy. Uses its small, sharp claws to climb along walls and roofs. Spends its time tapping its way through the roads and caverns near the surface of this kingdom. If you're patient, you can wait for it to come to you and pick it up. Aspid Hunter. Bests its prey by spitting corrosive liquid, often hunts in packs. Cunning predators that will try to pick you off from a distance. Don't give them any space, just charge in and cut them down. You'll find they're not so cunning once they're dead. Aspid Mother. Ah yes, this thing. Carries the eggs of its young inside its belly. Can hatch and birth its young as needed to deal with intruders. Shamelessly uses its own young as a weapon against its foes. Appalling, yes, but I do admire its resourcefulness. Good hunters do not always make good parents. Aspid Hatchling. Recently birthed, these young aspid instinctively swarm around intruders. These hatchlings are born with an instinct to kill. They are still only infants, though, and you can crush them between your fangs without thinking. Just don't let them overwhelm you with numbers. Wandering Husk. The remains of a bug, animated by a strange force, wanders the roads where it once lived. These civilized bugs of Hallownest were weak in life, and now they're equally weak in death. Send them back into the dirt they were born in. Husk Hornhead. The remains of a bug, animated by a strange force, uses its horn to attack any uninfected creature it finds. These bugs have an arrogant air about them even after dying, overly proud of their long horns. I enjoy snapping them off. Who's writing this stuff? It doesn't seem to be the knight. Is it, the person I got the journal from? Leaping Husk. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force. It will instinctively leap at uninfected creatures to attack them. The bugs of old Hallownest did not hunt their own food, they had it brought to them. That's why they were so weak. That's why their kingdom crumbled into dust and faded away. Husk Bully. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force. force. It aggressively attacks any uninfected creature it finds. A thick orange mist fills these walking corpses. It has a sweet, sickly taste to it. I find it foul. After you've killed these creatures, I suggest you do not eat them. Yeah, that seems smart. Husk Warrior. The remains of a bug animated by a strange force, wields a nail and shell. Softened by generations of luxury, these bugs lack claws or armor or venom. Those who wish to protect themselves are forced to fashion weapons from stone, ore, or shell. Husk Guard, the remains of a great Hallownest cross guard animated by a strange force. Instinct still drives it to guard its post against intruders, and I actually have not fully unlocked this stuff. Good to know. Entombed Husk. Mummified remains, deformed and enraged by infection. Inside these shambling corpses is a bright light that pierces any darkness. I peered inside the light once and saw something within it shining back. Something terrible. False Knight! A maggot driven mad by a strange force. Inhabits a stolen armored shell. Weak creatures love to steal the strength of others. Their lives are brief and fearful, and they yearn to have the power to dominate those who have dominated them. A maggot. Weakest members of the Kingdom of Hallownest, generally looked down upon and forced to do menial labor. Consisting mainly of sweet fat, these helpless creatures make excellent provisions for long journeys. Best roasted over open flame. If they try to bargain for their life, just ignore them. They have nothing to offer. Life Seed. Small scuttling seed filled with lifeblood, which can be extracted and consumed for its healthful properties. The bright liquid inside of these little fellows is delicious, and drinking it will make you feel stronger. I wonder how my own innards taste. Would it be a heinous thing to try and drink some? Weird. Balder rolls into a ball and propels itself at intruders who wander into its territory. Aggressive even when newly born. Younger hunters delight in catching these creatures and rolling them around for sport. I encourage you to indulge yourself if the fancy strikes you. Elder Balder, bulky and covered in thick plating, retracts into itself when attacked. As they age, these creatures become too heavy and lumpy to roll around freely. Instead, they curl up and hide from the world. What do they think of in there, wrapped up inside of themselves? More carefree times, perhaps. A moss creep. Weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger. Hides amongst the undergrowth. I used to think these things were merely ambling plants. When I learned they were actually living creatures, I began to kill them on sight. This is the nature of the hunt. Mossfly. Winged weakling that covers itself in leaves to appear larger. Hides amongst the undergrowth, fleeing if predators draw near. They spend their whole lives hiding or fleeing. How sad. Or perhaps that is life they chose for themselves and they enjoy it. It's a strange thought, but not impossible. Hasn't even been 10 minutes yet, my throat's already starting to hurt a little. Mosskin. Plant-like bug that charges at foes when close. They can be hard to spot amongst the foliage until you get too close and they suddenly come charging at you. Tread carefully. Volatile Mosskin. Plant-like bug swollen with infection. Releases deadly gas when threatened. The gas that seeps from their growth smells invitingly sweet, but it will burn through shell and flesh if you get too close. Fool Eater. Carnivorous plant that snaps at any creature that comes close. You really would have to be a fool to be tricked by a plant. Squid. Charges at prey with its needle-like proboscis. When they lunge at you, don't panic. Stand your ground and strike back as they come close. Obble. Fat, slow, flying bug. Frequently discharges the acidic liquid stored in its round body. Does it realize what a nuisance it is, drifting around, spilling its noxious juices everywhere it goes? If you see any, make sure to kill them. Gulpa. Oh, these things. Aggressive plant life that retracts protectively when danger is near. Spits hard, spiky balls when foes are at a distance. And I need to defeat more of them to unlock the rest of it. Mask Fly. Harmless flying creature that favors serene environments. Usually travels in flocks. What is that? Did I see that? Oh, the little... Are those the little things? Okay, I think I know what these are. You can kill them? Huh? Moss Charger. Timid creature that frightens away intruders by covering itself in huge clumps of moss. Oh, only need one more for that. Massive Moss Charger. Family of creatures that have learned to bulk up with moss and live as one. There is strength in numbers, yes, but these creatures never had much strength to begin with. Cut through their trickery. Moss Knight. Oh, I hate these guys. Protector of the green path, trained in the ways of the nail and the shell. Mossy Vagabond. Lazy, portly mosskin, easily swayed by others. Slow and fat, and easily vanquished. Common threads in those who forget their calling and forsake their duties. Duranda, that's what these are called. Interesting. Simple flying creature protected by a spiky shell. Aluba. Passive glider that prefers to dwell near acid waters. What careless a life led drifting above us all. If one ever comes too close to the ground, though... Charged Luma flies. When threatened, they cluster together, generating electricity. They usually drift about peacefully, but sometimes they cluster together and spit out a sharp, crackling flash that will stun and burn even large beasts like myself. Watch closely for an opening and move past them quickly. Uoma? Smallest jelly form. Passive and unaware, but pulsing with a dangerous electric charge. The spirit of a dead ancestor? The brain of a larger creature allowed to drift free? An egg searching for a safe place to spawn? I have no idea what this is. Oma. Passive outer being protecting an aggressive explosive core. Ghastly, eerie creature made out of thick liquid. You can peer right through them and can't see where they keep their thoughts. I don't trust them at all. Keep away. Umu. Intelligent being that guards the inner chamber of the teacher's archives. The canyon below us, the one thick with fog and crackling with strange energy. A hunter can lose their senses down there. Be careful. Strange and unnatural things lurk there. Ambloom. Simple-minded crawling fungus. Its cap is covered in a layer of hardened spikes. Lie on your belly, open your maw, and let this tasty morsel stroll right into your stomach. Fungling. Passive fungal balloon. Internal gases cause it to float. Just a child, it drifts about with closed eyes and an open mind. When I was young, my brothers and sisters and I would hunt each other in the nest. Now I hunt alone. Fungoon. Fully grown fungal balloon. Spits built-up internal gas at aggressors. So round. I don't think I've seen a rounder creature than this. This world certainly hides some marvelous creatures. I must hunt them all down. Sporg. That's what these things are called? Sporgs. Detects nearby movement and fires out explosive spores that drift towards their target. If you're skillful, you can lead their spores back to them and watch them perish in a destruction of their own making. There is a lesson in that, I think. Fungified husk. The remains of a bug, consumed by a fungus, frequently releases clouds of thick, deadly gas. The bugs of Hallownest are so pathetic that being infected by poisonous fungi actually increases their chances of survival. They really are absurd creatures. Shroomling. Young fungal creature. Spends most of its time in the ground, but can uproot and flee if it senses danger. Looks like an ordinary mushroom until you get close, then it pops out of the ground and starts scurrying around blindly. Very, very amusing. Shroomal Warrior. Fungal creature that attacks intruders to protect its young. Something queer in the air has caused these mushrooms to grow hearts, minds, and even faces. This means they now fear for their lives, like all other living creatures. Shroomal Ogre. Huge fungal creature. Attacks by spitting corrosive venom and slamming its body into foes. Are these hulking things beasts, or are they mushrooms? I cut one in half and peered inside to find out, but I could find no answers in its soft, stinking insides. Mantis Youth. Members of a proud tribe, fiercely protective of its territory, launches stinging attacks with its needle-sharp abdomen. As it grows, it loses the ability to fly. Passage into adulthood is often celebrated, but as time goes by, we realize what we have lost. Mantis Warrior. A member of a proud tribe, fiercely protective of its territory, launches savage attacks with bladed forelimbs. If you venture too deep into the fungal forests, these warriors will stand in your way. What is it they guard deep at the bottom of their territory? Mantis Lords! Leaders of the Mantis tribe and its finest warriors. They bear thin mail lances and attack with blinding speed. The Mantis tribe and the bugs of Old Hallownest had no love for each other. The Mantises outlived their rivals, though, and their civilization still stands. Okay, and you know what? Even though I haven't even been going for 20 minutes yet, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for this one, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of reading later, too. And yeah. And this is already starting to hurt my throat, so I guess these videos will be on the shorter side. Let me know if you want to see more of these, though, and I'll see you guys next time.